Welcome, Asis to Metaladium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you
It's
about
an honor.
what?
It is an honor
Oh,
for
thank you,
me.
thank you, thank you. Me too, me too. Really, it is a pleasure to talk with you about
Thank
Haggard,
you.
about all word that Haggard has in their hands, and a lot of things. So even on this interview, even talk a lot of metal word, everything. So we will be asking you how was Bandy been during the last years, because your last album was released in 2008. Your last album. Now we have a lot of albums of the new production. So how was the been done during these years?
What? Okay. Can you say it again? What the band was doing this
So
year?
how was the band been during these last years? The pandemic.
Well, yeah. Are you referring to the pandemic also?
Yes, yes,
Like,
yes, yes.
well, we were 2020. We were in Latin America. We were in Colombia, and Mexico, and also on the boat on the 70,000 tons of metal. Well, and right after that, well, Corona was surprising us all, I think. So we had plans for 2020, but unfortunately, it was not. Well, of course, it was like it was, but we were going through the pandemic quite good, and this is because because we had a lot of things to remember. It is really like that. I'm very grateful for what we are allowed to live. All these struggles and all these worldwide support is not for granted. This is very clear. And I saw a lot of people struggling with Corona, well, with the illness as well as with the mental issues that, of course, come along with the pandemic like that. And yeah, generally, whew, it was some kind of hard. Of course, I think it was hard for everybody. So fortunately, I didn't have any personal losses to Corona or family members or nothing. I know people who suffered from losing the family members, and this was really hard. So, um, but for the band and for the musical side, in the beginning, it was very strange, because you have to know that here in Germany, especially the classical musicians and the studied orchestra musicians, they have a high status. They have a very high status, but from one day to the other, that was not of any value anymore. All artists like that. I mean, sorry, it was worldwide. And I think that it was the perfect moment to see as an artist that if something like that happens, nobody's gonna save your ass. So I saw artists that were really playing very well shows and stuff like that, who needed to get social support, otherwise they would have not been able to live to continue to live their lives. So I think that was but this fortunately was a European thing, that we had some support from the government, not too much, but also it did help. And in other countries, it was not like that. So I don't want to imagine how the artists in other countries felt, because I felt like some kind of, okay, we're getting some kind of support, and we're in a privileged situation. Like others, they simply don't get it. If you have rent to pay, if you have bills to pay, if you have a family to feed, then yes, I saw artists doing whatever job and playing also in bigger bands. But no shows means no income. So was hard for some, and also some of the artists that I know, they stayed at the jobs they got at this time, so they didn't continue switching back to making music or acting or whatever they did. No. So this was shaking the whole world, I don't know what your experiences were, but people were struggling all over the world as much as well, as much as I know all the artists, they were fucked up some kind of, like also people made money a lot here in Germany with the masks and shit like that. But this is also a worldwide thing. Like if somebody suffers, somebody will earn money with that. Well, some kind of, how can I say? But fortunately, everything changed back to some kind of normal. So I'm, as I said, I'm very grateful to be also on this tour now that we're doing in 2020 as well, and for all of the shows that we ever played, because you have to imagine this as some kind of treasure, like you have in your mind, in the back of your mind on the left side, there's the last door on the left. I call it, there's a treasure chest, and there I put all my memories inside. And when I'm really, really bad, I go there, I open it, and I remember. Look, I have goosebumps. And I simply remember, because sorry for my, like for my nose. It's just that I ate today something really hot stuff, something chili stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, and I'm not so strong. So this is not this is not a cold. This is chili. I wanted to prepare myself for Latin America, like
especially for
no. But I like it. I simply like it. Even if I can, if sometimes it's too hard for me. Well, I just want to say, okay, I don't want you to think like, hey, okay, I have a cold or something like that. It's not that. Everything is fine. It's just the chili.
Okay.
And well, the thing is that, like going on this tour, I'm a very reflective person. Like, I don't want to talk too long about this, but I think that there are two kinds of bands. The ones who think that only because of they are making such a great sound, there are so many fans. And the other kind of, which I belong to, is only because of so many fans like our music, we're allowed to do what we do. So gratefulness is very important for me, also to reflect like that. Many bands would like to go on this tour like this. These are 24 shows, and they maybe wish to do this their whole life, or maybe only a part would be great for them, and they cannot. And I'm very, very conscious about what we're allowed to do, very clear. This is also about like doing shows, and also all the show aspect and entertainment aspect and stuff like that, and that's very clear. But it's on the deeper level, it is like that, and it cannot be different. Well, as at least for me and for us, we are all like that, and we're happy to come, and these memories from this 2020 tour, and also the other tours, also the first concert in Latin America in the Teatro Ferrocarrilero, it was, I think, in Mexico, 2001. They are still present. They're like this in front of my face, like they're still around. And I remember this a lot. And we were talking about having conversations also in the Zoom, and talking about the shows that happened. And well, this is some substance you have, like this keeps you from, how can I say? I mean, I have friends, they got very depressive in this time. Isolation, shit like that. And people watching the news all the day, and they got fucking depressed, like, and for the first for many, it was the first time in their life that they got depressed. They were not used to it.
Also, it's normal. It has been difficult years for everyone, and the music institute, exactly. That's completely normal. So into this aspect, how has been your experience? You told me this experience is about, but into this aspect, is there something that is there something important that you can learn during these last 3 years, especially from the pandemic?
that I take like as some kind of resume, or what do you mean?
Oh, like a big recommendation during the last 2 years,
Well,
basically.
the thing is, yeah. The recommendation is, however fucked up you feel, the chances are good that at whatever point of time it will go away. It will change again.
Yeah.
You know, like this is my recommendation. And but sometimes it's really hard to wait for it. I mean, yeah. This is my own recommendation, because how to handle these kinds of times, this is very different from person to person. You know, like I do it this way, you do it another way, and there is no blueprint of like, hey, if there's a pandemic, do this and that. I just can say that I had the gift of all these memories, and also uh, the gift of having a band that were some kind of like constantly in contact with each other. Also with our old Haggard musicians, with Lutz, our first drummer, and Andy, our bass player from former times, where I'm in very close contact with them, and this means a lot to me. So I cannot say whatever how other people should deal with those times, but as I said, the chances are good that times are changing again. You know, there were people saying like that this is going to be like forever with the masks and with everything. And I think taking care about other people is not something that you need to force yourself to. You know, like because there were also people who didn't give a fuck about the pandemic. And I'm not I didn't study medicine. I just can tell you what I read in some kind of reliable sources. Okay, but I'm not a doctor. And but here, for example, in Germany, we had 80 million doctors. They all had their degree. You know, like they were writing in the internet like, no, this is not infectious, no, this is bullshit, this is you know, like also this kind of, I don't want to call it a conspiracy theory, because you know, like this always comes a little bit too fast. If there's, for example, the pandemic, and somebody says something against it, then it's very easy to put this person in some kind of box with the label conspiracy theory. I think that they made a lot of mistakes also regarding the vaccines. Well, if there are people suffering, there are others who supposedly make money with that. This is just the world how it is. Okay, so this is nothing that how can I say that I created or whatever. So and it was like that. So we had some kind of mask scandals where politicians were buying masks and selling them very expensive to the government and shit like that. I think like that it happened in nearly every country, because this is like, you know, I have to tell you, like, this is the human being, and I don't like the human being. Is this too much for you? I just want to tell you.
No, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
No. This is no. I'm very clear. So everything is over, and we're here and talking, and hopefully the pandemic was not devastating for you. This is just what I can hope. You know, like as I said, as you said, it was difficult for everybody. So I don't want to complain. And my situation was, compared to others, I think it was quite good. Also from the economic and from the general point of view, there were others who were really beaten really a lot harder than I was. So, but it made, well, I think it made us all some kind of, I don't know how to call it, stronger maybe, at least to get used to this. You have to, just the last thing, I mean, I was born in 1971, and I lived all my life without any worries. I really have to say that. Okay. And I really know, I'm grateful because I know that this is not common. For example, the period here in Europe from the Second World War, 1945 until now, or until the pandemic 2020, was mostly in Europe. Well, it was times of peace, and this is not common. This is not the rule. When you look at the history of Europe, then you know that this is not the rule, that there are so long peace periods. I was allowed to be born and to live in one, so I'm very grateful here. So if the pandemic is what I need to put on my shoulders, and if this is the bad thing that happens, then definitely I'm grateful that, well, living in this period and the pandemic, I think also the artists in general, I mean, they grew stronger because of that. It's very personal, I have to say. If you don't want to have it that personal, you have to tell me. Then I focus on the.
No, don't worry, don't worry.
But we're talking for the first time, and this is not. I don't want it to be just a blah blah about music, like of course about music, like but for me it's always in interviews I like to be a little bit deeper so that people maybe also got to know other facades of
over the face of you.
of the musician. Exactly.
No, don't worry. It's a great interview. Don't worry. I love it.
No. I just want you to tell me when I go too deep or to go to left or right, then please do so.
No, okay. I will tell. How?
Okay.
So going far away from this pandemic situation, these last 3 years of a lot of chaotic things happen in the world, and I think this is a probably common question, but it has been 15 years since the last time you released a studio album.
It has been 15 years exactly, and well, I was saying that everything is in progress. Okay, now there's a how do I call it, pre-production going on. Okay, you have to. Okay. This is a general approach that I do, and with this approach I cannot be public. Look, in the past we had several kind of record companies and bookers and concert promoters I was working with, and Haggard was for them some kind of, except for the second record company that we had, it was some kind of thing that is unusual, where to how can I say, where to, I need to find the right words. It's like a freak show. Like you have something special in your roster among bands, but the marketing and everything is not focused on what the music is. It's more focused on that it's something special in any kind. So I was thinking about doing the record company myself.
Okay, claro.
And we had to wait some times for that, and well, I cannot say too much, but I had Natran Records to re-release our older editions, and of course it was my general approach to do the booking like worldwide and to do the record company also for the new album, because I can tell you that I got told many times when I was asking our record company, like, hey, I want to do a video, for example. Hey, no, video is too expensive and you cannot do it and blah. So some kind of, they were helping us a lot. I really have to say they were helping us a lot, and they have my thanks for that. But I think that the future of a band like Haggard is to have everything in our hands. To have everything in our hands. That means that you need also to generate the money for having a production, for having a pre-production, for having tours, for having, it's a lot of invest. Okay, it's not only like hey, well, yeah, we're playing everywhere and no, it's some kind of a storm. It's where other bands are like for example, hey, I have my record company, and I publish my CDs, and the record company gives me money to go on tour and everything. I saw that the things that I want to offer the fans, like to do an LP of my album, to do maybe 2 LPs when I wanted, to make a color LP, to make a fan box, to make a special edition. Well, they were not supported a lot. Let me say it like that. I don't want to be how do you say it, ungrateful or something like that. So I don't want to be too negative, but at least this was what convinced me to do the things myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so now when you are a musician and you're doing a record company and you're doing like it's called like some kind of 360-degree model. Like for example, the shop, the merch. I'm not doing it myself, but I'm in charge of these things because I don't want to give anything away for the fans to have the best possible thing. And when I want to change it, I want to be able to change it because I never was the easy person, as you can see in our lineup. So I never was like, so hey, yeah, okay, classical stuff, let's do a little bit of synthesizers or whatever, background, blah blah blah. I wanted to have real musicians. So maybe this is simply the way I am. But I want to have the control about the music. I don't want to call it music business because for me, the music business is a non-existent thing. There's business with selling music, yes, but with music, in my opinion, you cannot do well. Music is like a piece of my soul. Like I don't want to, but you have to name it, like marketing and distribution and stuff like that. I simply want to be in the position so that it's possible for me to simply do my things like I want them. And also, like for example, the old CDs, like Pursimova and Tales of Eteria, I tried a lot to get them back, to have my babies, because I have the first 2 on the label, but somehow it doesn't work. So we're gonna not before the new one, of course not, but we will re-record them, because for me it's completely important to have all the babies in under one flag, under our flag, because then we can act differently. Like for example, having deals with other countries, like distribution deals, or also Japan, for example, has some kind of special rules in their publishings and stuff like that. And regularly, as the musician Asis, I'm not too this kind of work is not too attractive to me. Like sitting in an office and doing plans and doing statistics and doing all the things. I mean, the people know me from Haggard, of course, composing and stuff like that, and it's still the same. But the question is, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go with your band? I know too many bands who really were struggling financially extremely because they have a manager and they have a booker and they have this person and that person, and suddenly the pandemic was hitting, and they were basically living from the live business, and this business was running dry. So they really had a problem. And the ironic thing was they were selling good CDs and they were selling, they were making good deals. But it was like that they had a lot of people around them. I don't want to say that a band shouldn't have a manager and a booker, but I'm in the fortunate position that Haggard is still flying, that we are some kind of, not even high, but at least we're in the air. People know us, and as I said, we have the privilege to go on tour and stuff like that. And I want to give the fans I don't. How can I say? I don't want anybody to decide like, hey, okay, we do another cheap edition of this, and we do another thing like this, and then maybe a best of or whatever, like in a jewel case or something. I want to give quality to the people, and I know many known artists who are going into this area that, well, was done in the past by somebody else maybe, or that they had to learn. I mean, it's not like you're doing this, you're looking to YouTube videos, and then like, hey, when I do this, then I need to I have this distribution possibilities, because this is also something, like our CDs mainly get distributed in the industry states. Like they're getting the originals. The record company and also distribution, they didn't have any interest to do originals. I mean originals, not any records that are pressed by sub labels. I'm not talking about that, but bringing them in the stores for a good price. For example, in Latin America, I was asking so many times, like, hey, can't we do this in Latin America? And there were a few labels, and I don't want to name them because after going away from the record company, I made very bad experiences with them. Like, they know who they are. I don't want to say any names. I'm not throwing around any dirt, but all I was asking is like to have a fair deal, like bringing the stuff in the stores. And I think that well, to be honest, the biggest source is Amazon or the store of the record company. So I want to offer also like a constant supply of our CDs, of original CDs. This is or at least original merchandise, CDs and also other stuff, LPs and whatever, in mostly all of the world. And there were people telling me like, hey, you cannot do it, release it in the US and in Europe and maybe a few other countries like Great Britain, Australia, and stuff like that. And the rest is doing bootlegs. And it's always depending, like in my opinion, who is doing the bootlegs and how the situation is in general. But I think for the fans, it's simply attractive to have an original disc that is not too fucking expensive, because the manufacturing does not cost you too much. This is the thing, like everybody selling this for crazy prices. I don't understand. There are a lot of things that I didn't understood, and I wanted to do better. Now to come back, okay, this is some kind of a circle that is not running from one day to the other. You need to establish everything and stuff like that. And now it will be time soon to blast it out on our own record label with a worldwide distribution. And in case there's somebody saying like, yeah, Asis, you can do it in 2 weeks and blah blah. The thing is to do everything parallelly, to be a musician, to work as a musician, and so on and so on. And we had the chance to publish it soon after Tales of Ethereum, but on the record label. But with this signing, and there were a few big record labels interested. Sorry fans, I did my decision against this, because I don't want to. Hey, I'm 52 years old. Yes, okay, there wasn't a CD for a long time, but the thing is that like Haggard was not away. We did play whatever was we were able to play, and this is also something I'm grateful, because there are bands, just want to mention, they don't do a CD for 4 years and they're gone. Nobody books them and nobody comes to the shows and whatever. So this is also something I'm very conscious about. Okay, so this is just, everything is based some kind of like upon freedom. I think freedom for the future as a musician, because I don't want to sign a paper and I know that this record company has 4 more options. At least if I do a CD every 2 years, these are 8 years of your life.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm 60, and then I'm 60, and I do the next contract. I'm not talking about age, like I feel perfect, like okay, my beard was growing gray. I was just in the bath, so my hair is here, so everything's there, like not looks like I cut it, but no. This is important. I know that the fans say, "Well, Asis, yes, okay, well, we cannot wait anymore." I will not do any promises now. Okay, just that the road is free, and the Latin American tour, of course, is also it's also part of this freedom. Like when you have a booking company, when you have mostly Haggard is some. I mean, again, I want to say, I don't want to talk bad about just only bad. I'm just picking out why. I'm just picking the topics why I did decide to go my path. Okay, and this is simply on festivals, for example. We were not very present for a long time, because they were not able to. The booking companies were not able to make clear to the promoter, like, why it would be a good idea that we play there. There were rumors like we're with 20 people, and he needs to they need to rent some special kind of desk and bullshit like that. And this if this is like a fire, just goes from one promoter to the other. And I was also going from one promoter to the other, making it clear that everything is cool, that we bring our own monitor solution, that this is just like 2 bags of equipment, that they don't need to work, because they see the big ensemble and they think like, oh, what the fuck? This is getting expensive. The PA that I need to rent, the monitors, blah blah blah. I just want to say, it's not. This was also a case I needed to make it clear, or to fix it. And you cannot do it just by sending out an email. No, you need to. You're approaching for a festival. You're applying for a festival, and they say, oh no, and then you're in contact. And this is a very slow process.
Yeah.
Also, and I just want to say that, well, yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work that maybe is not the first sight the work of a musician. That's very clear. Okay.
Yeah.
But where do you want to go? This is the big question. And I want to have my ensemble. I don't want to have anybody in my back that maybe says, hey, one day, hey, it's better to not work with real musicians anymore. I want to have the freedom always to do it. If I go with the whole stuff and I sink like a stone, then it's my fucking fault. Then people can say like, Asis, that's your fault. I'm pretty sure it will not happen, because I mean, it's always good to know your place and to know your status, and to not go for the ultimate sky when you are not in the position in this moment that you should do it. I mean, this is just what I can say, but that's how it is. So maybe some people understand, maybe some people just don't understand, and then they say, hey, sign a fucking contract and do what a musician does. And the thing is that in these times, you will find more and more musicians that are going the same path. Definitely, because in the future, if there's the next pandemic, if there's the next record company that is not existing anymore, or that does not continue working or whatever, in the end of all, there will be the big companies, the very big companies, also record companies. You know, like I'm not only talking about Universal and stuff like that. I'm also talking about, you know, like the big metal things, and they have their rules. And if you follow the rules, then you're in. Otherwise, you're out. And this simply is the reason why I put this on my shoulder. But I did it now public with you. But you cannot explain. I would need to explain this like to every fan, like I did to you. This is simply not possible. You cannot do it. You need. It's really a lot of details, and as I said, there are people who think like, hey, okay, whatever you do. There are people who say, hey, this is great because it's good for the fans at the end. And there are people who say, hey, I don't give a care about that so-called music business shit. I just want to listen. I just want to listen to the things. And these people, and with these people, of course, oh my God, what was this? Okay, a little boy playing drums. Okay, I was watching YouTube before and I was just hitting the space bar. No, yeah, that's a short story, very long and detailed, but I wanted to explain everything. So the thing is in the pipeline, and I will not name, well, it's also of course relevant for everything that you plan, like to do economically, because you know, like you cannot do it in a home studio. Haggard cannot be done in a home studio, and yes, you really need to invest in the production. And I don't want to have any compromises or saying like, yes, but okay, here we're gonna take some whatever and do it like here, or do it at the end of the world. No, and other bands they go and what is completely okay, but it's not an option for me and Haggard, you know, to ask for a crowdfunding or whatever. I never did it. Okay, so I never will, because this is not in our, how can I say, it does not fit somehow. I feel bad with the idea, so I want to do everything, of course, alone, well, with our economic possibilities. Yeah, it's really, it's a topic. It's not only love and inspiration. You really need to, if you want to play in these times, if you want to be on tour in these times and secure yourself, you simply have to have a strategy. I would call it like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. No, you know everything, and maybe you can shorten the interview a bit, because this is supposedly fucking boring for people, for maybe
not in general, because now with a lot of things, now the people are more hungry of information of what the band.
The thing is that this also these kind of when you need to change a sturdy thing like this to switch it, then also in the so-called music business, it's not going very fast. It's not like everybody says like, hey, let's do an online meeting tomorrow and decide about that. You always have to have long waiting periods and stuff like that. I just want to say, like, in the end, there would have been two possibilities for me to communicate this with the fans. Like you know, there's no other reason behind this. Just that this is a little bit too how can I say, a little bit too heavy to communicate in an easy way.
Okay, nice. So talking about
music industry, I hope you don't hate me. No, I don't think so, because I just can say I'm very grateful for what our record company has done for us in in old times, and also what we have, the support we had in old times. Everything is fine. So I don't want to have any little little black mark on anything. I just tell you my opinion of my view of the whole stuff. And you know, like with 20 or with 30, I didn't think about that, because then it was just like, hey, okay, fuck, we need to, you know, like on tour and stuff like that. Well, how do they say, with age comes wisdom? Well, something like that.
Okay. Well,
So tell me.
Yeah, good times. So, you began. Yeah, wait.
Tell me.
So,
You can play me.
At this time,
you can play
what?
double. You can play me double speed.
Okay, at this time, Haggard was one of the pioneers bands in using symphonic and early music in your metal sound. So, did you expect to see a big impact in the metal scene at that time? It is interesting that metal bands began to use symphonic and early music elements in different ways and different metal genres. But Haggard at the first time wasn't took a huge impact in the world.
Well, yes, we were. I think like we were one of the beginners, at least in this kind of polyphonic style of music. Honestly, okay. Tell me for you, what are the trademarks of a symphonic metal band? I want to ask you, if you allow, I want to ask you, because you said like symphonic band, and yes, you need a symphonic, you need, yes, symphonic is true, but I think that the symphonic metal is a style of music where Haggard supposedly is not included.
No.
You will say, what the fuck are you telling me? But let me ask you again, what style, or what trademarks, or what musical what musical specialities would you connect to symphonic metal?
Well, I said the symphonic is when you use it, the symphonic parts, not like you are in a symphonic metal one. So because you use symphonic.
Okay, sorry. Then okay. I think, well, let us agree to call it classical, like maybe classical or baroque or medieval. Just because me, for myself, I don't think that Haggard is too much symphonic. We have symphonic elements,
Yes,
but I think that there are bands that are much more.
yeah, more symphonic metal. Yeah. Haggard is more like, always for me. Haggard was a classic, classic like this aspect, no classic metal, but not classic metal like we think about the classic metal like Iron Maiden, like Judas Priest. No, it's like classic metal with the orchestra things into there, no?
Well, for us, it's very special when people say that they were growing up with us, and also bands. There are a lot of bands that I'm in contact with, saying that well, they got some inspiration and stuff like that. It's a big honor. Yeah. It's a big honor because well, they're amazing bands. What can I say? I mean, it's a big honor for us, and I'm very happy that is like that. Well, it gives you some kind of, yeah, it gives you an amazing feeling, of course. I mean, this was like 1996 or 97 where the And Thou Shalt Trust the Seer came out. I think, yeah, there were bands, the young bands who were like I don't know, 30 years maybe now or something like that, who were very young at this time. Were very young at this time, and they were growing up with our music, and this is something that as a band you cannot describe the the feeling. Regularly, I don't know what to say. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, like, I'm listening to Haggard since I was like 13 or something. You were a part of my youth or something like that. I regularly don't know what to say, because well, you cannot simply say thank you. You cannot, I'm completely overwhelmed regularly, because these words don't leave you, they don't leave you untouched. Okay. And I'm definitely, and for me, I also saw some websites like with all the early bands, and I mean there were more. There were also Theater of Tragedy, for example, like Liv Christine, who was singing a long time with Leaves Eyes, and yeah, this is amazing. They're amazing musicians, and in this first wave of I don't know how to say it, classical goth metal or classical death metal, medieval death metal. However, let us agree. Okay, this is like symphonic. I have to apologize. Okay, I did not. I did understand you wrong. Okay, because there were many people from the press asking me like, hey, putting us in the symphonic metal box. And
yes,
there are so fucking cool bands in this genre. I don't say anything against this, but the thing is that we don't fit there. That's why I was maybe a little fast saying this, but I just I'm always very clear, okay? Because I mean, you know what you're talking about. But I had a lot of journalists, for example, from the daily newspaper, and they had just a small briefing and stuff like that. So they were asking these kind of questions. I just have to apologize. Okay, I didn't want to be.
No, don't worry.
But indeed, we are symphonic. Well, yes, of course, symphonic parts in our music. Definitely, this is one of the. I don't know. This is one of the feelings, like this symphonic music. Like tender, and I mean the good thing is that the dynamics you can use so much when working with classical musicians, like working with this kind of music. You have a huge range of dynamics, and sometimes I listen to bands that have like 100% range from the first to the last song, and I'm like, because of the music must be like that. It must be like that, because you cannot, some bands just cannot do other, how can I say, other sound or another mastering than just going full power all the time, especially when they're in this when the music demands it. Like, and with Haggard, I always enjoyed that we can also just have only a soprano, only a flute. It does not be loud, it doesn't have to be, but when the other instruments come on top and on top and on top, you can create an amazing landscape of dynamic ranges. And this is what I love. I love this. I cannot imagine being without these dynamic landscapes.
Okay. Oh,
okay.
You began your career as a death metal band, no? Which makes it interesting the way the sound you evolved later as a classical metal band, no? So nowadays we can find a revival of the 80s sound in different metal subgenres. And on the other side, personally, I feel many metal subgenres have not much said because they repeated the formula too much. Talking about the thrash metal, the thrash metal, power metal, classical heavy metal, this kind of stuff. But except for the extreme metal subgenres, which sounds always evolving. What do you think about it now? The extreme metal are more evolving than especially the death metal, the black metal, have given us a lot of the new different sounds over the world. It seems that this kind of bands, there are no boundaries for them, because you start as a death metal band, but even you expand the boundaries of the extreme metal.
First of all, thank you for having this question, because this question is really good. Regarding the revivals of the 70s and 80s bands, I want to put the question and to ask the question, if people would like the 80s sounds to be evolved, would they like it? Because the 80s sounds like also in hard rock and metal and stuff like that, they are simply the 80s sounds.
Yes.
And I don't know how, if I would imagine bands with, I mean, these songs are carved in stone, some kind of this kind of musical style is carved in stones. In stone. Imagine this 80 metal sound with a better production really kicking in. I don't know, it wouldn't be the 80s anymore somehow. The bands and the sound, they formed this 80s feeling. This is what I believe. That's why for me it's nearly not possible to put an 80s metal sound in your dress. After that, like for example the 90s black metal, I mean, these extreme bands, I want to call it extreme bands, some of them are not too extreme, but they're also death metal and stuff like that. I mean, they have a lot of creativity. When you say they evolve, I mean, they're playing around with the sounds. Also, the black metal changed. I mean, you can compare, for example, I don't know, whatever Bathory, for example, to name a classic, okay?
Yeah.
Like the sound of their the Return, or the first, you know, like how was it called, the other one? Oh, I didn't listen to them to these albums. I was recently listening to the Blood for Death album, which is amazing, by the way. Really, this is like no under the Return of the Return under the Son of the Black Mark, I think it was.
Yeah.
Like so fans, please don't beat me because of that, because I didn't listen to these wonderful albums for a long time. When you compare this, for example, to Dimmu Borgir, for example, these are two, also the sound design and everything. These are two different worlds, okay?
Yes.
But both are amazing. You know, I like the Borgir sound, the modern sound, like the clear sound. Also, when they were doing the this with the orchestra, like Northern whatever, I don't get the name now. Like they did a live album with I think the Norwegian orchestra and choir, and this was the sound of this. The sound, I don't know. This guy is a true artist who did do the recording and the mixing of everything. It's just brilliant. It's literally brilliant. I like the sound of this album a lot. But these are completely different things, and also with the new extreme scene, mixing also some kind of well, technical elements, black metal elements are getting mixed with some kind of death metal and gent elements. So the boundaries are not so crazy narrow anymore, Because I can tell you, when I was 18, there were the death metalers, there were the black metalers, there were the power metalers, and they were all separate groups here in Germany. They were all separate.
Yeah.
Some kind of, yes, there was an underground, but regularly, you know, like there were people defining themselves as black metal and not as a fan of death metal, and you know, everything was some kind of separated.
Yeah.
It was some kind of crazy. Now all the extreme music is some kind of one group, and I like it like that more, because one group takes their inspirations from the others, and they mix it and they develop it. And I like it. But I think that you cannot do it with 80 sounds. I don't know how this should be. Like, because if you develop 80 sounds, there are no 80 sounds anymore. This is my opinion.
Yeah, that's completely true. You say,
well, yes, but there are the trademarks for the sounds of the 80s. There are the trademarks, singing trademarks, guitar, rhythm guitar trademarks, drums. I don't know. Well, maybe one of the viewers can comment.
No, but yeah, that is true. Oh, with this one, you told me that these last years are you love this kind of experimentation into extreme metal world, especially. Well, now as you can see, I think we're on a pinnacle of the experimentation with extreme music, technical, progressive, well, avant-garde, a lot of mixtures into the extreme metal. And with this aspect, did you sometimes think about to re-release your EP from 1994? Have you ever seen the worst progressive technology? Because I think that EP will fit best now with a lot of people that are trying to find some jewels lost in time. Because that EP, I think, is, for me, is a great one. It's a great one, more progressive death metal stuff. No, perhaps did you think about to re-release again this new one?
I got asked regarding this also quite a few times, and honestly, it's available in our shop. There you can order it, but now I think that this is from a different time, and definitely also re-recording theoretically could be done and stuff like that. But I think that this production reflects a lot of the feelings that we had at this time. So this is a very personal CD, mini CD or EP. And I don't want to. People can order it via the shop, is not a problem. But to release it like as a really release, like getting distributed and stuff like that. Well, I don't know, but I had a feeling like that this is maybe not appropriate, because people well, firstly, people know that, well, I don't want anybody buying this by coincidence in the store and thinking like, hey, well, Haggard, okay, I'm gonna take it home. I had a few cases. They were just coincidentally buying this also in the shop, and they thought that this is like classical medieval metal, like our new, well, current sound. Don't want to call it new sound, because 1997 is quite some days ago. But I think it could cause like a little bit confusion. And also if you label it with like technical death metal or death metal, or, you know, there's this little feeling inside you. Well, this is with me, and this little feeling says, rather no. And I can try to explain it to you, but it is like some kind of, yeah, well, it's a decision that probably comes out of the stomach and not of the heart, because from the heart perspective, I can understand that a lot of people would like to have it, and they can have it, okay? just with the old booklet. I would not like to do a new booklet, for example, for it or something like that. I think to have it that old version is also for the people who want to have it. It's some kind of cult. It's some kind of original demo CD. I mean, I don't know how to call it. I mean, I would never go and make a new cover and put it in the stores and stuff like that. Because in my the way I feel is that well, it's a bit too old, and it's the style is completely different from now. And I would really be sorry if some people tell me like, hey, I got this CD, and it's a different music.
Yes, very different.
It's definitely different music. I still love it. We were, we have a WhatsApp chat with the old guys, with the old musicians, and then we sometimes play like guitar parts and send us the stuff on WhatsApp just for playing the stuff. So I really love it, and I'm 100% behind it because this is a part of our history. So there's no single doubt that I want to like put it under the carpet or stuff like that. It's just for distributing it in a real distribution. I think it would cause too much confusion, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Now you have 4 albums and more than 30 years as a professional musician. Probably you listen to your albums many times. That's normally. And as a person, no? Oh, okay. And as a person and musician, you change through the times because you start with a different mindset at that time. You have a mindset now. If you could go back in time, is there something would you change from those albums?
No. There's still parts where I say like, but these things, these little moments that supposedly others don't recognize of, but I remember like situations during the production and stuff like that, and there are a few sound things which I would theoretically change, but if I would have the chance to do it, I think I would just leave it like it is, because it's I love them. They're my babies. I love them like they are. I don't want to change them afterwards, even if I would not know it. I would not. I would decide to not do it.
Okay.
But if you have any suggestions what to change, let us talk about it.
No. I really love.
No, it was a joke. There was no, but I mean, I know these albums, like they're running. These albums are in my blood. Okay, I would not change it, really. Even if there are a few moments where I think like, okay, this break could maybe be a little bit shorter or here, but these are mostly things that are related to the production. And during the production, we had to, maybe we didn't have the time for this song and this moment, or I did not hear it at first glance. I just heard it afterwards. It was too late to change it. But these moments are parts of my beloved albums, of our beloved albums. No.
Okay. Now talking about from your upcoming Latin tour, is a huge tour because you will do more. You will do here like 10 dates here in Latin America, in South America. Then you go to 16 days in Mexico. That's amazing. You are the second band doing an extensive Mexico tour because Tyrion was do the tour in February with I think 16 dates too. So it's amazing. So how do you expect for this new Latin American tour? Because during this first tour you will visit Peru. Peru. This is the first time you in Peru. You will be here in Peru. So how is your expectation? How was you prepare your old set list for this new Latin American tour? The set list will in Latin and South America will be the same within Mexico, or who knows?
Setlist will be the setlist will be very extensive.
Yes.
And it will be the same, because I think it does not. There's no need to design the set list for a country. I mean, we're all very happy to come to Latin America again. Very clear.
Yeah.
And to rock the venues, of course. What do I expect? Even if I would expect something, then our fans would come and top my expectations.
Nice.
Because hey, I mean, we were in 40 countries all over the world, and 40 countries were completely amazing. Let me say it like that. We were in 40 countries. There was not a single country where I say like it was not amazing or whatever. Latin America, my God, this is some kind of unleashed power. You cannot, if there was, if you want to explain this to a band that hasn't been to Latin America already, you cannot explain this. How could you? That the videos that you see, people going crazy and stuff like that, are not 1% of the really intense power you feel in reality when you're on stage. I know that this is like, it feels like coming home. It's like all the countries. I mean, we've never been to Peru, Honduras, and Bolivia, but we're in contact with amazing many fans of these countries. So I think that whole Latin America will be a blast. I cannot say it. I mean, mostly when you're on a tour like this, you think you realize it in a moment when everything happens. But I can tell you that many times you realize it more when you're back, okay? Because these impressions are so overwhelming that sometimes it's not possible. Just to realize what is going on in the moment, but just do it. Just let yourself be grabbed by it and be carried, and just put yourself in the line, and then everything flies. I mean, what can I say? I don't want to say something like, well, we expect that, you know, like we rock the venues and stuff, because I know. I mean, when I remember El Salvador the last time, Chile, Costa Rica, Mexico. I mean, I don't want to say these phrases, you know, like we're gonna rock the venues. Bullshit. They're amazing. This is a thunderstorm coming. This is a, you know, like not Haggard bringing the thunderstorm, like the fans bring the thunderstorm to a Haggard show, you know, like that's how it is. So what can I say? I mean, it will be another amazing period that we're grateful to live. As I said, I mean, there are bands who want to play maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of these shows, and they cannot. And because of the fans, we are allowed to live this. And this is a crazy big thing coming towards us. And sometimes you just need to let go and to enjoy it and to breathe it. That's it.
Okay. Now you told me that you will come to Peru for the first time, to Bolivia first time, and Honduras for this time. So maybe you have something prepared in other way, well, in different. Perhaps 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 you at least two more songs for this
Yeah.
three
Okay,
countries.
okay. Yes. I know what you mean. Well, it would be some kind of, not clever for me to talk about this in advance, I think.
Okay. No, it's okay.
Mm.
But the question goes to this way. So how will your set list be composed for those countries that will never see Haggard before, and now this is the first time. Exactly.
From all, except from of course from the mini CD, it will be a broad mixture from all of the CDs and also some new stuff. I just can say this. I mean, I don't want to. Mm, I don't, I don't see a reason why I should make a set list in Bolivia different from a set list in Mexico, because both are crazy fans. Of course there will be some other stuff, but I cannot talk about this now. I don't want.
Okay. No, no worries, no worries, no worries. Now, well, we're very close to this interview, Asis, and for this aspect, what are the future plans at the moment has for the one? You told me that you are in pre-production from the new album, etc., and more details will be released in the proper time. So perhaps do you help prepare more tours after this Latin American tour?
Yes, there's how do you say it in English? I just noticed how that I need to talk more English. Like, there's a North American tour planned,
Okay.
like Estados Unidos and Canada, and there are some Asian shows planned. There are shows in Europe planned. There are shows in Turkey planned. Turkey also is a land with a lot of crazy, fantastic fans. Like they're really, like they're also Latin America and Turkey. I think they're one of the strongest, most expressive. Ooh, yeah, definitely. So basically, it's some kind of all in the world tour. The only continent I think we never played is Africa so far. Never happened simply, but we were in Asia and Latin America, North America, okay, on the boat. Canada, we have a lot of people there, also Estados Unidos. So these are the, how can I say, these are the areas we want to realize. Also, Australia. Well, it's a difference when I plan it, like planning on the paper, and when I'm in contact with the promoter. So these countries that I told you now is where there are concrete talks to realize something. Of course, I also want to play in every single country in the world. Well, Japan would be amazing. China, we had the chance to play a few times in China already. Tours, people are amazing. Asia is also, like, Korea would be some kind of really cool thing. Japan, Korea, that's I know a lot of German bands playing there, but we never had the chance. And also Scandinavia, of course, Norway, Sweden, and Finland and Iceland, and
Okay.
yeah, these are the potential
Tours there. Oh, okay. Okay, well, as a part one of the last questions of this interview, you told me a few minutes ago that you compose everything because Haggard is very different. It's a very different way to compose the other bands.
I compose the things, but of course I have an amazing team around me.
Yeah.
And I would be fucking stupid if I would say, like, hey, you play this without any help, or like, for example, I compose something for the strings, but the strings know how to play a string, the string instrument. You know, it would be completely stupid not having the knowledge of my musicians. So what I compose is, well, yeah, the songs, but in the end, what you listen in the studio, of course, are with the help of the classical musicians, because sometimes, well, or a producer, you know, like sometimes it's too much for the producer what I do, like the levels of music. And this was all the last productions where the producer said, hey, this, we need to cut this, we need to cut this, because it's you know, like I always want to have it with a lot of layers, and not all the time, but there are things, well, the producer has something to say, so mostly he's making it thinner at certain parts, but this is why you have a producer for. It's not only a sound technician, it's a musician that you have in the band. Also the classical musicians, of course, they have their freedom also to modify, you know, like not complete different parts, it must be that part, but generally they're free to you know, to bring in their skills, and no matter if the harmonies or the how can I say, the style, the expression and stuff like that. So I always want to know what it is. And piano, for example, I do the melodies in some kind of yeah, well, one melody is in a more detailed style, and but theoretically I could do them easy, and the piano players, they realize it in working together with me. But I'm not a piano player. I can play the piano for studio reasons, but I'm not a trained piano player so far. So it would be completely nonsense if I would take my skills on all instruments and just put it one-to-one to the listener's ear. Does not matter. So that's crap.
Well, I mean about this question is now, well, you compose, you will use about the skills from the old musicians into the band. They're playing their stuff with you, but as you can see now, we are living a different kind of world, especially talking about the technology. And now you can ask to AI to compose.
Come on. No.
So
Don't
no,
ask.
but the question goes, what's your opinion about now with the artificial intelligence are now more present into the arts in general, creating art, music, a lot of style new.
I think in general it's not bad. In general, it's not bad, as long, well, also images and stuff like that. You can do a lot of. I'm before I did Haggard full time. I was in the information technology and, well, cybersecurity stuff, and well, I can tell you that you can do a lot of nonsense, bad nonsense with this AIs, because but in general, now regarding the art, this is some kind of, it's a curse, but not only. This is also a praise. It's both sides, depending how you use it. If you're using it for learning purposes, then everything is fine. Or also for writing your works, studying during your studies, or and well, there must be a new way of handling these kind of things, because you just cannot prevent the students for example using it, but the teachers also need to find some kind of way to maybe allow this, and to put their the important parts to other places. You know what I mean? I mean now when you use it here, it's some kind of plagiatism. It's some kind of copying, simply copying, letting somebody else writing this. but you cannot prevent it. People using it. It will. This is an open door now. Google will come now, I guess, with their own, or they're already doing this, maybe, with their own
Yes.
AI, and so it will level up all the time, and people will use it in any parts of their lives to write a breakup letter with the boyfriend, to write their, I don't know, exams, or maybe on what they need for the studies. So I think you cannot kick it out of our lives again. It's not possible. You cannot prevent it. I mean, I think Italia, I think they made a law to, I'm not 100% sure, but they wanted or already did to make a law that the use of this chat GPT is not allowed in, studies and stuff. It will not work. Simply will not work. People have the chance. The young generation, they just use it. So we need some solution about how to deal with the things. This is, I think it's important. How to.
Well, Asis, the sad time.
Hey, sorry for being so tired. I just want to tell you, in case that anybody is mentioning like, hey, well, he's so tired. I have some kind of my rhythm flips all the time, because sometimes I sleep regularly. Sometimes I only sleep 2 hours at night. Also, like having conversations with all over the world. And last night was a crazy night. I just want to say, in case somebody's writing like, hey, well, this is so tired. No, I just slept like, I think, 2 hours at night, and this is like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. So
thanks for a lot for your time. It was a pleasant interview. It was an honor to meet you. Perhaps you want to add something to your Latin American fans and Metalerium followers. The last thing.
Sure. Okay. Ok, mi español es un poquito soso, pero muchísimas gracias por todo, como se dice, el apoyo, amor. Sí, por todo. Muchísimas gracias por